Now then.
All right, the legendary broadcaster and writer Danny Baker returned to work recently after a torrid year receiving treatment for cancer, from which he is now thankfully in remission. Hurrah, can't you tell?
Good news. But with all that unexpected time on his hands, Danny's mind started to wander back to where it all began. And as soon as he was well enough, he made a film about it.
Yeah.
I'm Danny Baker, and I'm going back to the street where I used to live. It's been abandoned, sealed off and boarded up for years now. But today, I've been allowed special access.
There you go. Very first flat, 11 Debenhams Road, right next to the stairs and the rubbish chute. When we used to play football in this actual square, all the neighbours used to, when it got dark, all the neighbours would turn on their bathroom lights to give us floodlights. Yes, I've still got it. I've still got it. Incredibly, I left school at 14 and I went to work in a record shop. You know, I was pretty liberal with the stock and I used to stack them in my bedroom, but my albums started to make the front room ceiling actually bend a bit like this. I mean, a sturdy old flat, so it shows you how many records I had. The kids who lived on the higher floors, if the ice cream man come round or anything else, this is what they used to do. Mum! Mum! And suppose it's, I don't know, Jimmy Knight. Jimmy Knight's mum, to identify from all the other mums. And she used to come out, what do you want? Looking down. Ice cream man's here, wait there, go and get money, put it in paper, a bit of newspaper, and drop it over the balcony, donk into the square, and then you pick that up and go and get the thing. But you had to identify, Mum! Eddie Gregory's mum! I didn't have to, we lived on the ground floor. There was no numbers 1 to 10 Debenhams Road, started at 11. Odd numbers all the way through, and we were the very first one. And we backed onto the railway. I don't remember hearing it. You just simply filtered it out. It's like coming down here today, there's a load of noise. I can't hear it. I come round here and I just can't hear it. We had a dog, it was a black mongrel called Imaginatively Blackie. We used to come, open the letterbox, say, come on boy, and he used to walk up, put his paw on things and then walk backwards and let us in the house. He'd run around the estate, and when he came back, he would knock at the door. Knock, 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 sit with his paws up, just knocking the letterbox with his nose. We thought nothing of this at the time. Nobody believes us now, but our dog was a genius. My dad was a docker. He used to bring home quite a lot of stuff out of the docks, actually. One of the things they exported was shoes. And so much stuff was disappearing that eventually they decided to export left shoes out of London and the right shoes out of Liverpool, so they couldn't get pairs. That's absolutely true. Whatever moderate level of fame I reached, it would never reach for my old man. When I used to go down the road and somebody used to, it wouldn't beat me, it'd always beat my old man. They called him Spud. He was an extraordinary, very funny, very, very, say, larger than life and very physical, my old man. My mum worked in a chocolate factory like Willy Wonka. And I remember, and this sounds like a fetish, I used to get her Dr. Scholl sandal and smell the sole of it because it smelled so terrific of all these chocolates. And I remember sitting smelling this. Don't do that with me bleeding shoe, give us it back. You know, it's a slight reddening in my cheeks. The stairs were popular for courting couples. And I did okay. I'm not nostalgic about it at all. I think we had the best of it. They should knock it down. It's an old ruin. But while it's physically here, it wouldn't surprise me to hear someone in a minute come bursting out from these steel shutters going, Mum! Mum!
You haven't looked at me that way in years, but I'm still here.
That made me moody.
Real signature, real story, real footage of your dad.
Yeah, that's the funny thing was when we did that, the production team here said, could just give us some old photos of you in the flats. I said, there are none. Nobody took photos in the flats. Nobody took photos in your front room. Few on holiday, you know, but there are no photographs. But my dad was a docker and he got a cine camera out of the docks, as they did. And we had it with one... a cine camera. And so we bought one reel of film, 50-foot film, and we took... you know, that's me taking photos of Led Zeppelin album covers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I said, my sister's got a bit of film, but there are no photographs. None.
That was brilliant, that film.
Yeah, it's a nice little film, yeah.
It has to be said, Danny, you're looking very well.
Thank you.
We know it's been a very difficult 7 months.
I've had cancer.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm absolutely fine. I've had no all clear, but and I have to drink all the time. No change there, eh, Chris? But I have to drink water. I've got no taste buds, no saliva stuff. But I'm fine. I'm up and about. I'm back at work. Yeah, I can't milk it. I feel all right. I feel fine.
That's good.
But can we talk about the fact that you thought it was something else and it wasn't, and it turned out to be the dreaded?
Well, yeah, I mean, I had a lump in my neck, which, like blokes do, I thought, I know what that is. I know what that is. Leave it. That's all right. And I did, and I left it for ages, because I thought it was I diagnosed myself. It was fine. And then they tell you, well, the worst thing is that you go and have a test done, and the phone's ringing before you get home, and they use that dread phrase, can you come back? Can you bring someone with you? All right, we're not going out to dinner, are we? So it started like that, and it was hellish, and it was awful. But, you know, all right, we're all right.
But you weren't short of a few Florence Nightingales, were you, during your stay?
No, you know, everyone was so kind. You were there, and you.
No, it was visited. Who called?
Oh yeah, you know, people. The great and the good rung up, and the public rung up, and everyone rung up. You know.
I went to see it, and I had to go out because Elton John phoned you up.
There was a little of that. And I've got a bit of a past with people. Well, I lived with Elton for 3 years before he came out, of course. Yeah. And so of course he came to see me, you know. You know, I'm not saying anything, but have a look at the father's eyes of his little child. Anyway, yeah, I'm fine now. That's the main thing. And
a very difficult 7 months, but a great week for you.
Yeah, it's terrific. Yeah, I won the radio thing on... the thing is... Yeah, I know. I won the DJ thing, yeah, gold, yeah. Well, I'm here for the radio show. But against that, and I'm not being churlish or cynical and I don't want to knock it back, but had I not, you know, had cancer for the previous 7 months, would I have won it? I don't know. Was it a sympathy sonnet? I don't know. No, I don't want to knock it back, but that's always in it.
Now, you're a big talker. If we let you interview Ringo, you'd be here till midnight. We could all stay and watch and listen, but we're not going to allow you that. We're going to allow you one question to Ringo Starr, Danny. What's it going to be? OK. 1964, you had to have your tonsils out.
I did.
The Beatles had a little tour of Scandinavia. So, Jimmy Nicol. For a while, it was John, Paul, George and Jimmy. How do you feel about the fact that they got someone else in for that 3 weeks? Did you worry?
I thought it was really miserable of them.
Did you? Did you really?
I did. But, you know, the tour has to go on.
Yeah, but did you think, that's it, I'm out?
No. Oh, no, I never thought that.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got out of hospital, I got on a plane and went to Australia.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a flight when you just get out of hospital.
And there was a bit of...
and then we picked it up again. No, there was no thought that Jimmy's staying. It was just that it was booked and they went and did, like, Denmark and Hong Kong, I think.
With another drummer, it seems incredible, doesn't it? It seems incredible.
Well, you know, we were talking before, our show was only 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
You know, and all the chat and that, so it wasn't a lot of songs.
No.
And if we didn't like you, we did it in 25 minutes.
Some people still do that now. Danny, how's the book going? You're writing a book. Come on, the long...
yeah, well, it's all right. If I hadn't discovered Twitter, I wouldn't spend all day writing jokes. But, yeah, I'm doing a book called Going to Sea in a Sieve, although I wanted to call it a pith helmet full of Savoyers, but that's another story for another time.
OK, well, we look forward to another story. Danny, thanks for coming and well done. Danny Baker back on the telly, back on the radio, where it belongs. Lots of love to Wendy and the family watching.
There we are.